Oh,
and they took hidden pictures. Quite interesting. And she thinks it's a good idea. I should play it. I don't even know where it is, but I'm going to let you hear it tonight. When we get off the show, I'm going to give you an education about the other side, the dark side.
The dark side.
Listen,
come on over to the wild
I'm not
side.
saying that Trump is an angel. All I'm saying, Hillary, she's extremely conniving. She'll do anything to get elected, including getting people hurt, because people got hurt in those riots.
Yeah, but she's much more savvy and a lot smarter than Donald Trump. All right? And she knows about politics. She knows how to work with people across the aisle, you know. I mean,
listen,
these are things that he doesn't know.
You think you have you have gridlock now? It's going to be 10 times worse with her.
Well, look, no, it's going to be. I said a long time ago, no matter who the new president is going to be, he or she is going to have a lot of trouble with the new Congress getting things passed, okay? Because it's not going to change the fact that a lot of people in Congress don't like Hillary.
Oh, that's right. She just mentioned something. What about the Clinton Foundation? All the money going in and out. Qatar gave Bill Clinton $1 million for his birthday.
It's very nice.
Now, do you know the politics of Qatar?
Yeah, Qatar was where they had they flew the bomber of flight 80 something that crashed in Suffolk County. Remember? The plane that was shot down.
Yeah. Qatar has the worst human rights policies in the Muslim world. The gays get thrown off the roofs. That's the way it works.
Oh, I know.
Women. There is no such thing as rape and marriage there. You're married, you can't get raped. You can do whatever you want to your spouse. And obviously, there are no other religions there.
Yeah,
they're worse than Saudi Arabia, which is pretty bad. But anyway, they gave him $1 million. They've got more They've got more Wiki Leaks about the pay to play. A lot more.
Quid pro.
They got the Wiki Leaks of Hillary's aide. What's her name?
Homer Abedin.
Saying what the hell is going on here with all this money going around in circles and going to wrong places and stuff like that. Okay? She's complaining. They've got Wiki Leaks of, what's her name? His daughter.
Chelsea, what did she do?
She wants to know why are they fooling around with the foundation, with the money.
Who's they?
Hillary and her mother and father. And they called her a spoiled brat. What does she know?
All right.
Read your paper. Listen to the news, ladies and gentlemen. But then again, I know nothing about the Democrats right now. No, it's what's been going on. If it's all true, and nobody, as I said, nobody's tried to deny anything. The worst they said. Who knows if these the worst that they've said so far is, or the best they've said is, well, there's always a possibility that these calls are not real. I mean, these are not real, but that was never from Hillary or any of those people. We've got a caller.
We do.
We do. Area code 407. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, this is Ed. How you doing?
Hey Ed, how are you? Long time no talk.
I think so.
Oh, we just
Yeah, it's been a
haven't.
few weeks.
What's that?
It's been a few weeks.
Yeah. Well, I've just been battering over here with my friend the Doc about Wiki Leaks. He listens to ABC and
Yeah.
CBS, so he never hears anything that's going on in Wiki Leaks and the recordings.
Yeah, well, really puts a lot out there.
There's so much out there, isn't there?
They find a lot of things.
And but none of the nobody broadcasts it. The only one
that much I have to say.
They want to keep that. They don't want that exposed too much.
Yeah, no. The only one that's doing it, Fox. But nobody is so far. Everything that's been said, nobody's denied any of it. And with those guys, they were charged that those, they videotaped, planning the disrupting Trump
rallies.
One quit and one got fired. Oh, but it's not true. But he quit because and left the country. We don't know why. And the other one got fired.
He's on a paid vacation.
And one of them was visiting the White House. Was it once a week? Is that what they were saying?
I don't know.
Yeah. 460 some times he visited the White House, and about 50 of them were personal visits with the president.
One thing that I'll say about Wiki Leaks is they're part of the cyber war that's going on. And in cyber war, we really don't know what's going on because it is pretty ugly, and they don't want the populace to know.
Of course. I mean, look what happened today. Half of the internet in the country was shut down.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough out there.
Did you know that happened today?
I know, I heard that.
What they did is they just slowed down the internet so much to a crawl, then they couldn't move anymore.
Russia was upgrading their system.
No, they don't know who did this, but they're saying if they do this in the elections, they'll bring down the whole system.
Yeah. Wouldn't that be something, huh?
Yeah.
Well, they could listen. That's nothing. The bottom line is they can hack into
No, they knocked out the whole internet.
No. I understand that. I'm talking about what would happen if they started playing around with the votes themselves that are being cast.
Well, they can't because the votes are actually done basically individually, almost manually.
Yeah, every sheet that you feed into
every state's different. There's 50 different states that have to operate in.
Yeah.
I mean,
how do they do it down in?
Knock out electrical group.
How do they do it in Florida? By you?
Well, we each have there's I think Florida has 29 precincts. Well, they have 29
districts
areas because we have 29 congressional districts.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what gets added up. And each one is responsible for each. I have friends that work at voting pools, and they actually count the ballots. And although it's electronically done, they also have the manual ones. The manual things like I already voted, and I voted. I send in mine as an absentee ballot. Now, those ones get counted, I think, right during or maybe after the election. But, if it's close or whatever.
Yeah, my son asked me.
Precincts count.
My son asked me actually about that. He said if you, file an absentee ballot or if you vote early, do they open it up beforehand or do they wait until, the voting is over in your state, and then they start opening up all the absentee ballots and everything?
I think they open them up
because they might start opening some up and counting them, but they don't count them until all the votes are in.
Yeah, well, but his story is that that 60% of votes are going to Hillary from these votes. So I don't know how they're getting that or whatever numbers they said.
The only way they can guess on something like that is if they know that 60% of, let's say, the early ballots are coming from Democrats, they're assuming that those people would be for Hillary.
I have no idea,
Okay, but you
Right.
never know who's voting for.
Yeah, they don't know. They don't count them.
Exactly.
yeah,
They don't count them till election day.
yeah,
So I mean, there's early voting, and all those votes don't get counted till the election day. It's just for convenience.
yeah,
But the election day is the day of the count.
yeah. And there's also, they say there's a lot of people doing absentee ballots.
I did one.
See?
My niece is getting married, so I mean, it's my vote's already in. So these last 18 days don't mean anything to me.
Yeah.
Are you in a last
You know,
debate? Because
I was unlike the Rev here. I was watching CNN today, and I was listening to Jake Tapper, and he was interviewing Kurt Schilling about his possible run for the Senate in Massachusetts, and Kurt Schilling had asked him whether he was a Democrat or a Republican, and Jake Tapper said he's really neither, and he said, "Well, I'm sure you know who you're going to vote." He said, "I'm sure you know who you're going to vote for." Jake Tapper said something very interesting. He said, as a true journalist and newsman, which is what he is, he said he doesn't vote for president. He said it wouldn't be fair. He said, I don't vote for either one. It's like with the military. The generals and the service people, they serve at the whim of the president, no matter who the president is. But Jake Tapper said that he doesn't vote in presidential elections.
Now I'm going to ask you something, which I asked Mark. How one-sided do you think the news media is?
I think it's it's a duopoly anyways. There's not much difference between Republicans and Democrats. They're more for the globalists and for the corporations and big money.
Yeah.
It's like they try to portray it. I think the talk radio thing is more Republican, and the TV shows are more Democrats. But when you really get down to it, who's Bush say he's voting for? Hillary. Who's Condoleezza Rice say she's voting for? Hillary. Who's McSame and Mitch McDonald and Ryan backing? They ain't backing Trump.
Yeah. Because Trump will cause too much trouble for them.
Well, the conservative talk show people like Glenn Beck and what's his face, Rush Limbaugh, and Mark Levin. These are the true conservatives, and really, when as far as they're concerned, Trump is not a true conservative. He doesn't have conservative.
Rush Limbaugh, Rush and Mark Levin are supporting Trump, and the other guy, what was the last guy called?
But I wouldn't say that they're head over heels.
Beck's supporting the Constitutional Party. He's supporting
that guy.
Castle.
Yeah.
Castle.
But they're both supporting
Castle's
him.
Really the best guy out there. And I'm a registered libertarian, but I just do that because it's a bigger party here. I'd like to see a third party get going. I'd like to see a Patriot Party or,
Well, who knows yet?
Libertarians and the Constitution.
Yeah, Ed, but after, let's say things die down after this election, who knows if the old Republican Party, as we know it, can actually regroup and become the Republican Party of old. This may start a whole trend where you'll have definitely a three-party system. At least.
Nice. And I would hope so, because you know what? People are tired of the Republican Party because it never does what it's supposed to do as far as conservatism counts. They're in bed with the Democrats, and, people are starting to see that. And I saw that 40 years ago. I never voted Republican or Democrat in my life for president. I don't like either parties. Although this year, the first time, well, A, I lost the best my stepson, and B, ABC, anybody but Clinton. So I